Hi, Aramide.
Hi.
Whoa.
We're back. Hi,
We're
guys.
back. Our second episode of our... We're
YouTube
actually
channel.
doing this, so...
Yes, it's exciting.
Yeah, it's actually really
Exciting.
exciting. And so good to have you again.
Thank you.
See, I'm
We're
as if
having
it's
each
my show.
other.
Right?
We're having each other.
Yeah, we're having each other. And I mean, the last time we had a conversation, we got a lot of reactions and people coming back to telling us how, that really changed how they thought about rejection. And I think that for me, in fact, when I listened again to that video, I was like, wow, did we really say this? I think it was so much wisdom, right, in that episode. And so it's so good to be taking this conversation further again.
Yeah. What are we talking about today?
Yeah, tell us, what are we talking about today, Andy?
Okay. So, one of the conversations we are having this morning, right, was, we're talking about why is it that young people are not able to get opportunities even though they are getting the work done?
Yeah.
Why a lot of young people who are getting rejected in that sense? Why are they not getting the opportunities that they need? And this morning, while I was in the bathroom, the Holy Spirit we were having a conversation, right? And one of the things he said to me, was that a lot of people have the skill, like people that are doing the work, they have the skill of doing the work, right? They have the ability to manage their time, to manage their priority, they understand stakeholder mapping, they know how to negotiate with vendors, artisans to be able to get stuff, they know M&E, they know how to monitor and evaluate the program that they're delivering, and they know everything around doing good work.
And these are people working in impact space, for instance, right?
These are people who are driving social impact, and doing just really good work. They know how to do it. But he said to me that there's also a skill for application. There's a skill to apply for opportunities. There's a skill of putting yourself out there. There's a skill of storytelling, of talking about that good work that you're telling, or the good work that you're doing, rather. And, he pointed to me a picture of Joseph, right? Imagine Joseph, he was supernaturally talented at interpreting dreams, telling dreams, interpreting dreams. Of course, by the wisdom and inspiration of God, as God was helping him, right? But you see, Joseph, when he was about to be presented to Potiphar, when Potiphar needed someone to interpret his dream, and they had recommended him that there's one guy that's locked up in the prison, right? Joseph had to get a clean shave. And even though Joseph had that natural or supernatural talent, right? Because there's nothing natural about interpreting dreams. Supernatural talent of interpreting dreams, he had to play the parts, like he had to look the parts. And you see, Joseph had to get that clean shave done, and that was why it was acceptable. Like, he was able to actually interpret or present his gift to the king. And I was just thinking about it, that wow, we do a lot of work. People that are actually getting work done in social impact, you do a lot of work. You get job done when it's not convenient. Whether it's convenient for you or not, you get things done. You go the extra mile. You're not just giving your best, you're literally giving your all, spending your resources, doing everything, right? But there's also the skill of actually putting together that good work that you're doing, and actually talking about it, right? There's that skill that you need to build, the skill of pitching, the skill of learning how to develop a good deck, the skill of showing up well, right? The skill of personal branding, talking about the work you're doing and talking about it in a way that is appealing, right? There's a way you can talk about the impact work that you're doing, and there's a way, and I know that, thinking about this, one thing I've realized is that when people say, there are people that are not doing the work, they're the ones getting all the opportunities. Those people have mastered the skill of getting opportunity. There's a skill to actually putting yourself out there and, packaging that good work that you're doing and putting it out there to get the opportunities that you truly deserve, right? So that was like really the thoughts that was dancing around in my head this morning. I'm like, wow, we all need to learn that skill.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think the skill to put yourself out there, comes with the work that you do, right? If you work in social impact, for instance, you're helping people maybe in local communities, or you're helping people access, a service that they would rather not be able to afford, right? And you're doing that good work. It is just good that you put that out, right, and share it with the world, right? And I think that I feel like there are a lot of thoughts around why people shy away from sharing about their good work, right? And there are a lot of thoughts that people think is valid, right? I think that first of all, right, I think that for you to share or not to share is your personal decision.
Yes.
Right? There are people who do things that
nobody knows about.
Exactly, nobody knows about it, and it's totally fine. There's a reason behind it. But if you are someone who does not have a reason not to share your work out there, right, and then you're thinking, why is it that opportunities are not naturally gravitating towards me, then you might need to start considering putting your work out there, right?
And I realized that if you, of course, there are people who have money, like they already have the resources. It's privately, they have their own foundation and everything, so they have the resources. But if you know that, talking about this work out there is going to actually help you serve those people in a better way, then you need to actually stop thinking too much about yourself and start talking about the work you're doing, so that people can get more.
Exactly. So because that's the point I wanted to drive at, the fact that the truth is, when you share about your work, I think the reason why a lot of people hold back from sharing about their work is the fact that we think too much about ourselves. Right? It's either you're thinking that, I'm a very humble person, humility is in my blood, it's one of my core values. I don't want people to think that I'm the one doing this beautiful work, or this thing, and people will not even start quoting Bible that if you do, your left hand must not know what your
right hand.
Exactly, things like that. The thing is, you need to begin to look at it from a different perspective. If you share about your work in the right way, in a way that the people you are helping,
you're not stripping
their dignity. You are restoring their dignity, right? You are protecting their dignity. If you share your story well, what it will do is the fact that it will enable you to be able to serve more people, right? Because you're able to garner more support when you share your story.
Of course.
Another thing that is very important that people really ignore, when it comes to building in the public or sharing in the public, is the fact that you don't know that when you share about your work and position yourself out there, and of course let people see the amazing work that you're doing in your community, what you're doing really is not to just paint yourself as a good person. No, what you're doing primarily is also to give other people permission to act.
Yes.
Right? I mean, there are things that I've done that it was because I saw someone, did something like that, or someone did something totally different. But because of the fact that that person believed that they can do it and they did it, it also ignited my own belief and passion to say, yes, this thing I'm thinking about, I can do it as well, right? So when you share to the world, when you talk about your work, you are practically lighting the candle of other people so that they can shine as well. It's just you putting light, to let people see that this is possible. I can do it as well.
Wow, this is really so insightful. And it just made me remember, I think last week I did an introduction on LinkedIn. I was like, hello everybody, my name is Aramide and this is what I do. I run a free school, etc. And there was someone who made a comment and she said, wow, this is literally what I want to do.
Wow.
Right. And for me, it just made me realize that, when I think there's a quote, very long quotes.
Yeah.
But I think towards the end, it says something like, when you shine your light, give other people permission.
Permission, exactly.
To be able to do the same.
Yeah.
Right. And, even if I think about this from a biblical perspective, we look at Abraham. Abraham is known as the father of faith.
Yeah.
And because of Abraham believed when he couldn't see, because he shined his light in that respect, we can actually believe even when we can't see. We can actually follow God. Like, God literally uprooted Abraham away from his father's house where he was comfortable and got him to take his entirety out of that place into a place that he was not showing him. Like, I'm just imagining God is like, last year every day, like, carry your kids, let's start going.
Yeah.
It's think like if you actually, I don't know how many people really think about the Bible literally, but I really think about it literally. I'm like, okay, if you want to carry with Canada, let's go. Like, let me know I'm going to Canada. Let me book a flight and I'm gone. But you're telling me, let's go to a place, and you're not telling me where I'm going to. And just because we saw Abraham following God and how he followed God and lived a life that was literally a faith life, right? We sort of find that courage to actually do so, knowing that God cannot fail us because he has the whole track record. And I think that, as young people or people who are doing this impactful work that we do, when we talk about what we are actually doing, people can actually see that, wow, if this is possible in Kenya, which in this low resourced community in this particular country, then it's possible for me too. And I know that even for me personally, there are a lot of inspiration I've gotten from my work. I know when I was going to start Talent Mind School, I had an idea of this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to get kids to solve problems. And I wanted to get those children out of poverty, which was what was making them not even be in school in the first place. And just studying just being exposed to people who had courageously started something and were defying the norm, right? Just gave me this courage to see that, wow, this thing is possible and this is a how to go about it. So this point you actually shared is really, really on point.
It is, right? And the thing is, we need to start seeing that our stories of possibilities, they are one of the assets that God, sends to the world. The truth is, when you share stories of what is possible...
You didn't say that again!
Right?
That is just... Wow.
Yes, because, when God is doing a work through you, God is not just only doing it to those people that you are affecting. God is also using your own story of doing that work to affect other people that you don't even know about. We read the Bible today because it was chronicled by some people, because it was written down, right? And what happened when God parted the Red Sea through, Moses, right? He performed that miracle. It could have just been a story that the people in that generation knew, or somebody wrote it down, right? And then we can read it today. And because of that, we have the faith for big things, right? So once you do things that God do through you, right? And you are able to also share it with the world in a way that, of course, people's dignities are maintained. What you are doing practically is that your story itself is a product. That your story itself is impact. Right? The Bible says in Matthew chapter 5, it says, you are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill that cannot be hidden. Even God's will is for us to, do great things. And then, of course, let people know what He has done through us.
You see, even God even documented it in the Bible. Like, He documented His track record in the Bible so that
we can see. So what you're doing really, when you do it, don't really think about just yourself or even the people you're serving. Think about the other people who will read the stories of what you've done and then be able to take action in their own different communities and create a ripple effect of impact. Right? So people starting, and the truth is, you never can tell where your story will go to. If you do your own work in a local community and you impacted only 100 people, somebody in Zimbabwe can hear that story and do that work and impact 10,000 people. Now, where would you say that 10,000 people started from? It started from you doing your 100 people and then you sharing with the world that this is an amazing thing that can happen. Right? And then somebody sit and say, wow, I can reach 100,000 people. What if you never did that? Or what if you did it and you never shared the story? What happens to the 10,000 and the 100,000 people there?
This man right here is a white man.
So, so I think inherent in our ability to do good work as people who work in social impact is also the ability to tell the stories in a better way and in a good way. That it will not just be stories of possibilities, but it will be stories that impact other people, and then of course move them to action wherever they are. And then of course, like we said at the beginning of this episode, it helps you also attract opportunities so that you can do much more, much more work on a larger scale.
You can do better, right? There's so many opportunities that we've gotten actually that someone just came and said, I saw something. Remember this morning, I was reading to you a chat of someone who reached out to me from Singapore.
Yeah.
And was like, wow. Apparently, he had somehow heard about me, but I faded away.
From his timeline.
I faded away, right?
Yeah.
And, when I made that post of, hello, everybody. My name is Arafide, like, hello, I'm here. Yeah. I'm doing this work.
Yeah.
It appeared on his timeline. He found me again and said to me, I've been looking for you. I've been looking for your school. I just couldn't remember the name. And for me, I just imagine, what if I never talked about?
Or you never made that post that morning.
What? Yes.
Or something.
Like, that's how I've just missed out on this new opportunity that just freshly and opened up. And I know there's so many opportunities just like this that come like almost every day.
Exactly, right?
And someone reached out and saying, I saw this thing. I want to do this. Remember last year I talked about a fund you were setting up for teachers and everything. And before we knew, someone reached out and made a first
first donation. I said, I want to donate this.
I was donating in advance.
Exactly. I was we've not even started the work. Person said I want to donate in advance, right?
See, guys.
Yes, right. So and that's how it works. I feel like opportunities are everywhere in the world today. It's like magnets. It keeps moving around.
It's just looking for
who is showing up.
Yes.
Who is showing up? Let me attach. Bam.
Wow.
I think that's how opportunities are.
Wow.
So we do great work, but we are covering it, and we are trying to switch up the sensor that the opportunities will sense and attach.
Guys, if you're doing great work, you better show up.
You should show up, honestly.
You better show up.
Yeah.
Because there's so much, so much out there.
Yeah.
Right. To be honest, we've not even scratched
at all
the surface of what is out there.
At all, we've not.
They are organized. They're literally. I realized that they're literally organizations that, like, they are. You know how you have targets to find customers.
Yeah.
They are literally organizations that the targets they have is they're looking for young people to invest in. They're looking for organizations to give grants to. Like, their target is that every month, at least every month, or at least every year, we're going to donate this amount of millions of dollars to this number of organizations. And they're just looking for people who
are showing up.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying something. I was having a chat with a friend of ours, right? I mean, you know her. And she was saying that, there was an opportunity that came up in the organization. And they were like, they nominated some people, for those opportunities.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the nomination was meant to be like, if I nominate you, you are in. But then it returned back, and those people were not able to go for that opportunity.
Wow.
And the reason is simple. They were like, they could not find a track record of whatever they are doing online. So you can imagine someone doing all the amazing work, and the only thing that disqualified the person is that we did not see anything online about what you're doing. Right? And just like I said earlier, right, there might be personal reasons why you don't want to, and we respect that. That's totally fine.
Yes, fine.
If you have your personal reasons, please don't do that. But if you're doing amazing work and you are not sharing with the world, you're practically robbing the world of the goodness that you have and the goodness that can come out of it. You're basically closing a bigger channel of impact by not sharing.
And I realized that one thing is to another, to another. When I started talking about Talent Mind, I mean, as far back as it started, I've been loud about Talent Mind, right? And I think this was in 2023.
Yeah.
I had I was invited to KPMG to speak.
Yeah.
It was a virtual session.
Yeah.
Actually, it was 2023 or 2022. Sure. I had a virtual session with KPMG, and of course, I did a session on personal branding. I was invited to speak to their staff, and when I was done, I continued following up. Right.
Yeah.
So I think in 2024 they needed to do a CSR project. So guess what I did? Reached out to them because I know every organization is their own obligation actually to CSR. So I reached out to them, and of course we were able to secure their CSR commitment for the year and everything. After we did KPM, it was just like a follow-up literally. Then we had PwC reach out to us, and then we had Microsoft.
Yeah.
And then like these organizations that will just continue to open up, and of course we had ALA and all of that just supporting us. And I realized that everything just started with KPMG finding me online and saw that, oh, this girl, we like the way this girl talks about her work. Let her come and train our staff on how to talk about their work. And from that, it led to, okay, let's just say somehow. And then from that, like, and you know, there's a whole thing about multinationals. When they see, KPMG, when we put on our pitch deck, that we will let them know that KPMG is, you know, has sponsored us, one of our sponsors. Another big four wants to be like, okay, I want to do this. Another one is like, I want to do this. And before you know it, things just keep opening up. And you never really know. You really never know where talking about your work can take you.
You really never tell.
You never really know where it can take. And you know, also makes me remember you know, when I was doing my fundraiser, right? My Harvard fundraiser. And in fact, I feel like what made it a whole lot easier. Of course, I thank God for grace and favor and everything. Right? But speaking about it from a physical perspective, I believe what really made it easier was the fact that people already knew me.
That
people already knew that
this is what this girl does.
This is what she did. And you know, sometimes I just sit there and I think that if all through while I was, you know, working in a public school for 2 years, giving my all, like literally, even when it wasn't convenient, just doing what I could do to move the needle in that community. If I'm not talking about that work, would I have any story to share my fundraiser
to connect? It would have been more challenging. More challenging. But because that track record of work is there,
it was there.
So I mean, I think for young people working in social impact, please talk about your work. Honestly, you're doing a lot of good to the world when you do that. You are helping a lot of people, you know, definitely find their own pathway as well. And then you are in turn putting yourself out there and putting your work out there to get more support.
To get more, exactly.
So
there's
that you can reach
many
other people. So I don't think if you're doing it for chasing clout or for selfish purposes, that's when it doesn't make sense. But if you're telling stories the right way, in the way that your beneficiaries, their dignity is still preserved, right? And then of course you are not shining your light as you are the savior or the messiah, right? You're really just talking about the work, honestly, right? You'll be able to, you know, definitely help other people. And then of course, like, shine the spotlight on the work. So I hope this has been, we are very rooting for you. So if I'm sure that this has, you know, really been helpful for you, right, in the way you think about opportunities, and then of course telling your stories out there and showing up as a social impact leader who's a young person, right? So please like this video, subscribe, because we are coming back again with another video, with another episode, and we are coming for you. And just like we used to say, if there's anything that you think we should talk about, right, on this channel, please ensure that you put in the comment section, and they will be looking at that and we'll share. Thank you so much for the love, everyone.
Thank you. We look forward to seeing you in our next video. Stay tuned.
Bye.